Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
All righty, folks, you can go to funniestman.com because we have got the funniest man in America. I think I'm going to stretch that on out to the funniest man in the universe. Mr. James Gregory, how are you, sir?
I'm real good. How about you?
Yeah, we're still alive and kicking up here, trying to make it through all the stuff that's going on in the world. And you looks like you're rocking around, back out on the road, doing some tours. How's it feel to be back out singing? And
I'll tell you what, we've been back on the road for quite a while now, and virtually every show has been sold out over the past few months. I think people are ready to get out, have a good time, laugh, and forget about the local news and the national news.
Hey.
Just laugh and have a good time.
Man, I was looking at your concert dates or your tour dates. You are booked. I mean, my goodness, you're working hard. You either owe a lot of money or you love what you're doing. Which one is it?
It's not everybody.
Yeah.
You know? I really don't have to work because I owe any money. What happened is I just co-signed for too many people.
Yeah, I know how that is. I guarantee it, man. But not me. I owe everybody. I got great credit because I owe everybody. I guarantee it. But yeah,
No, I'm just joking around. I'll tell you what. There's no point to quit work. I mean, the more I work, the harder I work. It kind of keeps me alive. It keeps me moving.
Well, it keeps a lot of people moving. I actually talked about, on our social media, put out there that you're going to be on the show today, and people love you, James. They absolutely love you, and I think it's because you relate to everybody's family. Because I mean, you've got all the stuff that you talk about your family, and I think it relates to all the family. I don't care how rich you are or how poor you are. Everybody's got that Aunt B. You know what I'm saying? That needs one more piece of cake, but can't hardly walk to the table to get
right,
it.
I think that's why people continue. They just continue to show up in every city, every state, because I do the kind of show that people can relate to. It reminds them of their own life, of their own childhood, their own background. Matter of fact, before the show or after the show, when people are talking to me, that's what they'll say. They'll say, "You remind me of my uncle." Or they'll say, "You know what? I had a grandfather that talked just the way you talked about your grandfather." So I think that's why the audience leaves the show being glad they came to the show, is because for your listeners who may not know this is a completely family-friendly show. Whether you're 8 years old, 18, or 80, you can enjoy the show. There's no profanity in the show. There's no bad language in the show. And I stay away from the current news.
Right.
There's no current news on that show because my philosophy is this. People watch the news 24 hours a day these days, So once they get to the theater to see a show, especially a comedy show, they don't want to hear some comedian on stage espousing his opinions of what's going on in the local news.
Right.
They want to be entertained, and they just want to laugh. And that's what I try to do.
One of the great parts about your comedy act, like you said, it's family friendly. And I find that so refreshing because you can go to your show or you can watch you on TV. And I'm telling you, my side is absolutely hurting after you've been performing because you're so funny. And yet you're not going after a bunch of vulgarity. You're not attacking people. You're just making fun of the day-to-day life. And I think that's something we all need to learn how to do, is laugh at ourselves.
And it's so good to be anywhere in the state of Alabama, by the way. Alabama's almost like a second home to me.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, man, this is amazing. I'm looking, you've got sold out. I mean, you're still selling out these places. I mean, that's got to make you feel good to know people love you. And I mean,
it does make me feel good, but I'm always so grateful to the people who continue. They just continually show up, and they've been doing that for years. I was in Monroe, North Carolina last Friday night, and it was sold out way ahead of time. And prior to that, we were up in Kentucky and the same thing. So it makes me feel good. But above all, though, I tell people this all the time, and I mean this seriously. You know, I would have been out of business a long time ago if not for people like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Local radio over the years, or syndicated radio, has done more for me than what some entertainers gain on network television. I know a lot of comedians that are continually on network television, those late night talk shows or whatever, you know, and nobody knows who they are, or they can't sell out his shows.
Mm-hmm.
But people like yourself, that gives me the airtime to promote my shows, you know, has been a big benefit to me for the past 35, 40 years. So local or national radio people are really, really, really the big thing in my life, more so than being on network television.
Well,
I'd rather be on the air talking to a radio guy than to be in New York City doing 4 minutes of some late night TV.
yeah. Only thing about New York City, they can't understand the way we talk with this Southern accent, you know, after.
Yeah, but who can understand what they're saying?
Yeah. But now you're going to be at the Grand Ole Opry on the 16th. That's just a couple of days away. I mean, that's got.
Yeah, that's going to be Saturday night at the Grand Ole Opry, and I hope I can be funny.
I don't think you got no problem with that. But I know Reno Collier, he was up there the other day, and he stole the sign that says parking for Reno only. I don't know if they're going to let him come back or not because they got him for stealing his parking sign.
We got to get you up here in the mountains in North Georgia.
Yeah. Oh, he's been here. He's been to the
fairgrounds?
No, he's been at the Smoky Mountain Center Performing Arts a couple of times up there in Franklin, North Carolina.
Oh, yes, I have.
Yep. And I think I've seen
What city are you in right now?
We're in Hiwassee, Georgia, which is in North Georgia. You know where? Okay, you know Helen. I always say, okay, you know where Helen's at?
Right.
Cross the mountain, on over into up in the hills.
That's a good part of the state. That's a good part of the state. Of course, the whole state of Georgia is good to me. You know, I mentioned a while ago about the state of Alabama. The reason I like to be in states like Alabama and the Carolinas and my home state of Georgia is that I can have these shows without going too far.
Right.
I can go all over the place, though, but the closer to my home to work, it's better. So that's why I love Alabama and Tennessee and the Carolinas, is because it's a short trip to me, you know.
Oh yeah.
Well, we love you.
Now you're in it, but you live in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, I live in Metro Atlanta. I live about 24 miles northwest of the city. I live in a town called Woodstock, Georgia.
Yeah. Yep.
You're right down the road from us.
Yep. You can't beat that. But now let me ask you something. You've played a lot of different places. I mean, what is? Do you have like a venue that that's the one that you want to always go back to?
Say that again.
Is there a certain place that you like to go back more than any? I mean, it's like the Grand Ole Opry. Is that like, I love to do the Grand Ole Opry, or, you know, do you have
you know, people have asked me that time to time. I've been so blessed that, quite frankly, I'm in that position in my life now, is that everywhere I go are places I like to go. You know, in the entire course of my career, I have performed in 38 of the 50 states.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been all over Canada 3 times. And I've performed overseas for the troops, like in Greece, Italy, and Spain.
Right.
But as the years have gone by, you know, the closer to me and to perform is better.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have done shows out west, like in California and Washington State. I used to do a lot of shows in San Jose, California, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington. And I enjoyed being there. And if I had the opportunity to go back, I probably would. So I can't really think of a place that I really didn't like.
Right.
You know, Because once you hit the stage and the people are laughing and having a good time, it's hard to say, I don't want to go back.
Oh, I can understand that. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you, if I had a friend that was in prison and another friend that lived in California, I'd probably break him out of California first. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I refer to California as the People's Republic of California.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you on that. But, you
To
know,
me, it's like being overseas.
yeah, I'm with you. Anything over the Unicorn Mountain to me is overseas. But, you know, we flew with airplanes, my boys and this, that, and other. We got a couple of fly a little bit, this, that, and other. That skit that you do with Fill It Up is the funniest thing. And I think that is so funny because, like, we're at the airport and you say, fill it up. Everybody goes to that joke. I mean, that relates to that fill it up. That is the funniest thing.
It's something that I've made a joke about for years, but it's true, you know.
Oh, it is true.
I hate flying. I really do. But I don't mind flying once a year just to catch up on my drinking and my praying.
There you go. I'm with you on that. I don't mind the fly. It's the crashing part I don't want no part of.
That's right.
Folks, we're talking to James Gregory. Go to thefunniestman.com, and he's going to be in Mobile, Alabama, Nashville, Tennessee, Greenville, Tennessee, and it just keeps going right on. Kentucky, I mean, you have got a full line going, be in Gainesville at the Hosh Theater, sold out. You got 2 shows in Gainesville. One's already sold out, so that's crazy. So you better hurry up and get that. And but you're all over, and no, like you say, a lot of the stuff that you talk about, I mean, it's like the plywood. People that get plywood, I mean, that's some, you know, stuff that you come up with is just hilarious, and it relates back to your family, you know, especially the stuff that you got. Now, you continually write jokes as you go along in life. There's got to be so much stuff nowadays coming out that's got to be hilariously funny to write about.
Well, you know, I'm not a great writer,
Right.
but what happens to me is, if I see something, hear something, or read something that kind of makes me laugh, then I can take that subject and kind of expand on it or change it around. You know, Some of the stuff that I talk about, for example, about these kin folks, you know, that's because one of my relatives actually said that, you know. And I'll tell you something that happened just recently that I now talk about in my show, but I do a fat lady routine, you know.
Right.
And this is just your average person, you know. All right. My niece has a neighbor, okay. They live way out in the country, east of Covington, Georgia, you know. And she's real big woman, good woman, you know. And she always wears a black dress. She always dresses in black, you know. And she said, well, black makes you look thinner, okay?
Right. I've heard that.
And my niece's friend said, well, your dress is not black enough.
Yeah, we have blacks it gotta be.
Yeah. So I tell when she said that, it's just hysterical.
Yeah.
So I rework that now, and I could use that word in the fat lady routine that I do on stage.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of them wear them black spandex. Them things don't cover up at all. I don't like to say they definitely ain't black enough. I think they ought to outlaw them things. Yeah, I guarantee it. But James, hopefully we get out to see you on some of these. I'd love to go to the Grand Ole Opry and see you up there. That would be great.
Well, come on out.
Yeah. So now you've played the Grand Ole Opry many times before, haven't you?
No, this is gonna be my first time.
First time.
First time at the Grand Ole Opry.
Wow. That is awesome.
Does that make you, for all the venues you've played, when you know you're going to be playing at the Grand Ole Opry, does that make you just a little bit nervous?
Yes, it does.
And you would think now, with all these years under your belt, that would just be another gig to you. And to hear you say, yeah, it does make me a little bit nervous, it just shows the respect you have for the Grand Ole Opry.
I think because it's such a legendary play.
Right.
Number one is. And everywhere I go, every weekend, see, it's the James Gregory show.
Mm-hmm.
People are there to see James Gregory.
Mm-hmm.
At the Grand Ole Opry, it's not the James Gregory show. It's the Grand Ole Opry, and there's a lot of artists that night, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So making sure that I can entertain the people as much as the other entertainers do makes me a little bit nervous. But I think I can make it work.
Well, I hope you're telling jokes and not singing.
I can't sing, you know. I love country music, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And over the decades, I got to know and hang out with all those country music artists.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, this past year, you know, we lost Charlie Pride.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I love Charlie Pride.
Oh, yeah.
And I had the opportunity I never worked with him, but I've been around him several times over the years. So one time he said to me, he said, you and I, he said, we could be a team. We'll call it salt and pepper.
There you go.
He said, I could be funny. I said, that sounds good, but I said, Charlie, I can't sing. He said, okay, just forget it.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. And there's a lot of folks out there think they're funny that ain't. That's the worst part. Yeah, when
Some of those guys were really funny. Little Jimmy Dickens was a funny guy.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yep, I've heard that. I think, you know, when you got somebody come up and they're going to tell you a joke and then they start telling you how funny it's really going to be, before they tell you the joke, you know it's going to be an awful joke.
That's right. And sometimes you'll pretend it's funny so you don't want to hurt the feelings.
Yeah. Hey, I quit doing that. I really did. I'm like, I've heard that. That's not funny. Yeah. Because everybody in the room's thinking the same thing you are. That's not funny. Please quit telling jokes.
That's right.
Oh, man. But, James, I'm going to tell you, you're one of my favorite, no doubt about it. Go to thefunniestman.com, and he is touring all over. Love this guy. And like I said, if you've never been to a James Gregory show, you are missing out. And we have got to get to break, man. But I sure do appreciate you coming on. It's our honor to have you on our station. And
I appreciate it. And maybe in the very near future, I can just come up there and hang out in the studio instead of being on the telephone.
Well, I would love that. I would love that. After we got through, I'd take you over to Aunt Pearl's porch, and I'd feed you some of them good old pastries they bring to us sometimes and fatten you up a little bit and, yeah, treat you like royalty.
So I show up over there. You got some sausage and biscuits?
Oh, we got all that stuff, man. Are you kidding?
We're just an hour up the road from
Yeah,
you, so
we
you
got
definitely
all
need
that.
to come up and visit.
Yep.
You know, I'm a cheap type guest. You know, yeah, you'd be amazed what I will do for a sausage and biscuit.
Hey, I'm with you.
Hey, James, before you go, man, we got some comments coming across our YouTube channel here. Ask James, does he get a fried bologna sandwich in Greenville?
Fried bologna sandwich.
Somebody's asking that. And somebody asking about a heavy man going to all-you-can-eat buffet and told you only eat 2 plate. And they're asking if you'll come to the Union County High School new auditorium sometime.
Oh, I love all that stuff. That's good today.
Yeah.
It's sort of fried bologna sandwich, you know.
We'll that's what we'll do. We'll get you up here and feed you a fried bologna sandwich. Now we're talking.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So people like that are real people.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I mean, you know.
Anybody that even uses the phrase fried bologna sandwich are real people.
But, you know, you got them that like to fake. They got the stuff they call pate, and down here it's called potted meat. Same stuff. You know what I'm saying? But they just try to put on the dog, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, it's just pate. I'm like, no, that's not. That's potted meat.
Yeah.
All right, brother. We're going to get off here, and we'll get you up here, and like I said, we'll be following you. Funniestman.com. Go check out James Gregory. Everybody loves him, and you will too. Thank you so much, James.
And thank you, my friend.
All right, you take care.
Jody Cox is saying we're going to get some fried pies for him for sure.
There we go.
There we go.
I kind of know James just a little bit, and he's the real deal. What you hear is what you get, and he has got some of the funniest stuff going on. And if y'all have not seen Fill It Up, if you're a pilot out there and not seen the skit, just go to YouTube and put James Gregory Fill It Up. It'll come right up. But he has got so much funny stuff. Funniestman.com. Go check James Gregory out. And like I said, he is going to be all over. He's going to be in Greenville, Tennessee, South Carolina, Kentucky, but he's coming to Gainesville. Got a couple of shows down there. One's already sold out, so you better get to it. Chattanooga at the Tennessee at the Comedy Catch at the Choo Choo. And like I said, he is one of our favorites of all time. That being said, we got to take a short break. Thank you for spending a little time with us. And remember, you can tune in every morning at WJULradio.com at 8 a.m. Eastern. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook, The Morning Dish.